Monday morning, I was outside his house on the road, and I called his office, and they told me I better not go in. Maybe I should have gone, but I didn't. But anyhow, Matt was there, and he said, Walter said, when you see Pops, tell him to bet on the 3-horse in the 4th race. You know, sense of humor.
Typical Walter. All the way to the end, huh?
And Ed told me it won and it paid 12 to 1.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, we've got that tape. Here's the kicker, Dan. I don't know if you even know this. There's more to the story. Here's Mr. McCaskey this afternoon. Watch this.
There was no racing on Tuesday, but I went out on Wednesday and I bet the number 3 horse in the 4th race, and he paid $12 to win.
See, I told Ed the only better thing would have been if it paid 34 to 1.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's playing games with us already.
That's right. Well, he had previous knowledge of the place where he's at.
I guess so. Danny, tell us a little bit about what you will try to share with the audience tomorrow. You're one of the speakers I know at Soldier Field tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess what you always try to share is, you know, just what kind of person Walter was and the greatness that he brought to this life and what he meant to everybody. And it's not something that's selfish. It's something that, like in Walter's life, you shared with the rest of the world. And hopefully, you know, that message will come through loud and clear. And, you know, speaking of sharing, this is the famous gold watches that Walter bought us.
Oh, you're kidding.
And in his first 1,000-yard season. And strangely enough, the Bears beat the Packers that day 24-13 on the day that he went over 1,000 yards. And he bought these for all the offensive linemen. The unfortunate thing is some of the guys opened them up and they sprang apart. I think Walter got a deal on them.
Gary, a final thought before we go.
Well, you know, I think all of us went out there to have a sense of closure today, and I feel really good. I feel very calm. I think that the pastor at the church did a wonderful job. Hearing Mike Ditka and certainly Mike Singletary, very inspirational. Jarrett, who did a great job, Eddie. And being able to really share this bond that football really does bring. You talk about the tradition of the Chicago Bears, generations now who played with Walter Payton. I remember when George Halas died, and the players tomorrow will share part of that in that tradition, that sense of what it means to be a Chicago Bear and what it means to live in the spirit of Walter Payton.
It truly is a fraternity, and it's one that you know that you're blessed to have been a part of.
Gentlemen, well said, and thank you very much for coming in tonight on a real difficult day. Dan Jiggets, Gary Fensick, fellas that have known Walter actually for 23 years, going back to 1976, right? All right, thanks, guys. Now back to Walter and Robin.
Thank you all. And we're going to take a break and be back with some final memories of Walter Payton in a minute.
Be right back.
Thank you for sharing this special half hour with us. A reminder, a memorial for Walter Payton at noon tomorrow at Soldier Field. And our live coverage will begin 30 minutes before that at 11:30 in the morning on Fox News.
We leave you, though, with some final memories of sweetness from some of the people who knew him best. Good night.
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me.
After Brian Piccolo died, my husband Ed and I promised ourselves that we wouldn't be so personally involved with any of the players. And we were able to follow that resolve, and Walter came into our lives. And you all know what a difference he's made.
He was just one of those guys that he was definitely a bright spot wherever darkness appeared.
Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
He was full of life, always smiling, always, you know, pulling practical jokes on people. It was just, it was a lot of fun coming to work every day to see Wally.
The guy was constantly a playful guy. And, you know, you miss the smile on his face. I think that's the one thing you miss is the smile.
I need to dance with life, sweep you away into the night when there's no one else around. I will make every day count. We need to dance with life, swim in the soul of your eyes till we melt into the ground. Oh, we need to dance with life and leave a brilliant light behind.
Things happen because they're supposed to happen. Walter was supposed to be a Chicago Bear. And he was the greatest one of all.
Walter, hey, he's the best. You know, I can't touch Walter because, hey, you know, 13 years of one game. You know, I can't, you know, he did it all.
He was just not just a great Bear, he was a great Chicagoan, and I never called him Sweetness, but I guess he was.
I need to dance